Learn English through Stories U25 Answers PDF. Adapted and modified by Kulwant Singh Sandhu. Contents. Vocabulary. 8 tests. Answers. 1. Read the text and decide which answer A, B, C, or D best fits each space. When I first arrived here to take up my new job, I stayed in a hotel, but I soon started looking for a permanent residence, a place to call my own. The first flat I came across was cold and uninviting and had large patches of damp on the walls. The flat looked out onto a factory, so the view was not exactly inspiring. Then I had a look at a small flat in a modern apartment block. It had a parking place and was fully furnished, but the rent was far too high for me. I didn't want to end up in a tiny place, so I answered an ad for house sharing. The house was in a quiet neighborhood, and as soon as I saw it, I fell in love with it. There was a high, overgrown hedge around the front garden and room to park cars in the drive. The room to let looked out over the back garden and had a big bay window. Although it meant sharing the kitchen and living room, I did have my own bathroom, really just a shower, and wash basin crammed into what must have once been a cupboard. There was, however, quite a lot of storage space. 2. Complete the spaces by finding one word which fits in all 3 sentences. It took us 3 hours of hard climbing to reach the summit. Being promoted to manager is undoubtedly the summit of my career to date. A special summit of the leading economic countries has been called. B. When the agreement is finally signed by all parties, you will receive the key to the house. The self-study edition of the book comes with a key so you can check all your answers. His ability to persuade people is the key to his success. C. The second flat I saw was in a terrible state. His physical condition is improving, but I'm not sure about his state of mind. The funeral of President Mawaka was attended by heads of state from all over the world. D. The U25 out of the city affords a spectacular view of the lake. I would like to look at the house again, with a view to moving in shortly. You won't find a better house than that one. That's my view anyway. E. Okay, let's press on and try to reach the top by lunchtime. These trousers are specially designed so that you don't need to iron and press them. If you press this button here, you'll activate the alarm system. 3. Both options make sense. Underline the one which forms a common collocation. The room was sparsely furnished, with just a table and a chair. B. I sat down with the landlady and signed the tenancy agreement. C. At the dump, huge iron skips were crammed full with people's household rubbish. D. A group of homeless people entered the unoccupied house and claimed squatters' rights. E. You can't walk on here as it's private property. F. They are going to put up a 10-story building opposite my house. G. Groups with guides should go to the side entrance. H. There's been a sharp rise in the price of property in the southeast. I. The rooms are dark and smelly, and the heating is barely adequate. J. From the cliff top, it was a sheer drop to the rocks below. 4. Complete each sentence with the most suitable word from the box. This water comes from a spring near the bottom of the mountain. B. The hills could be seen faintly outlined against the horizon. C. The ship won't be able to sail until the tide comes in. D. There was a rocky cliff rising 100 feet above the beach. E. The two islands are divided by a narrow strait. F. There is only one pass through the mountains. G. Many small boats could be seen moored in the wide curving bay. H. The children amuse themselves by rolling down the grassy slope. I. The whole landscape had turned white after the overnight fall of snow. J. At the foot of the mountains was a wide, well-cultivated plain. 5. Complete each sentence. AJ with one of the endings, 1 to 10. I paused at the top of the stairs on the landing and wondered which was my room. B. The walls of the bathroom were covered in tiles with a pattern of fruit and flowers. C. I chained my bike to the railings at the front of the house. D. There was a clock on the mantelpiece over the fireplace. E. I left my umbrella in the porch and opened the front door. F. After the storm, we had to replace several slates which had fallen off the roof. G. I decided to oil the front door hinges, which were rather rusty. H. There was no heat coming from the radiator under the window. I. You should try to remember to wipe your feet on the doormat outside the back door. J. We stored our old books upstairs in the loft in case we needed them again. 6. Using the email as a guide, complete the tenancy agreement. Use 1 or 2 words in each space. The words you need do not occur in the email. Dear Bob, I spoke to the agency about our new house, and they told me lots of rules. I think I've remembered them all, so here we go. We can't keep pets. We have to respect the people living next door and not make a lot of noise. We have to keep the house neat and tidy. We have to tell the agency right away if there's been a fire in the house. And if we don't keep to those rules, we can be asked to leave. Then, when we decide to leave for good, we need to tell them 28 days before we leave. During this 28-day period, we must allow the agency to get into the property, to check it over, or to show round possible future tenants. Finally, when we leave, we mustn't take any fittings or furniture with us. I think that's everything. I told them we'd sign the actual contract when we move in. Love, Holly. Tenancy agreement. 1.1 Please note that the keeping of pets is forbidden, not allowed, in the house. 1.2 Respect must be given to the occupants of the adjacent house with regard to noise and loud music. 1.3 The house must be maintained, kept, in good condition, order. 1.4 In the event of fire at the property, please inform the agency of the details immediately. 1.5 Persistent failure to observe, follow the above rules may result in you, the tenant, being evicted. 1.6 Please inform us 28 days in advance of your intention to vacate the premises. 1.7 During this 28-day period, you must allow the agency or the landlady access to the property should they wish to inspect it, or should they wish prospective tenants to view the property. 1.8 No fittings and furniture may be removed by you on your leaving. 7. Match each sentence AJ with one of the explanatory sentences 1 to 10. They have broken down several miles from home. 9. They have had trouble with their car. B. They worked on without a break. 5. They went on without stopping. C. They took the corner at breakneck speed. 10. They were going extremely fast. D. They got on well as soon as they broke the ice. 3. They got over their initial shyness. E. Their marriage is about to break up. 7. They are on the verge of separating. F. They have made a breakthrough at last. 1. They have made an important discovery. G. They broke off at that point. 4. Their message was interrupted. H. There's been a break-in at their house. 2. They have been burgled. I. They broke the news to Pauline gently. 8. They revealed what had happened. J. They broke her heart in the end. 6. They made her very unhappy. 8. Underline the most appropriate word or phrase in each sentence. A bee was buzzing angrily against the window pane, unable to get out. B. The crowd booed in disagreement as the politician left the platform. C. The bus stopped at the traffic lights with a screech of brakes. D. I had to put some oil on the hinges to stop the door squeaking. E. The sack of potatoes fell from the lorry with a heavy thud. F. The helicopter passed overhead with a whirring sound like a giant insect. G. The mirror fell from the wall with a crash. H. Air was escaping from the punctured tire with a hissing sound. I. The tiny bells on the Christmas tree were tinkling in the draft. J. The saucepans fell onto the floor with a great clatter.